Sr. Presidente Donald Trump, Presidente dos Estados Unidos da América, caros convidados, altas entidades aqui presentes, senhores jornalistas, eu gostaria de realçar a importância desta cerimônia aqui em Washington, D.C., que vai finalmente pôr fim a um conflito que, como já foi dito, dura mais de 3 décadas. Não são exatamente 30 anos, mas mais do que 3 décadas. Um conflito entre irmãos, países vizinhos e irmãos, que deviam se dar bem, mas que, por razões de diversa ordem, têm vindo a se degladiar ao longo dos anos, com pesadas consequências, quer para as populações de ambos os países, como também para as respectivas economias. A região dos Grandes Lagos é uma região das mais ricas do mundo, não apenas da África. É enormemente rica em recursos hídricos, terras aráveis, florestas, recursos minerais que estão no subsolo, mas sobretudo rico nas suas pessoas, com um potencial muito grande para desenvolver aquela região da África que pode catapultar o desenvolvimento de outras regiões igualmente do nosso continente. O mundo atravessa hoje uma crise energética e alimentar. Nós fomos a dizer que a África, e em particular essa região dos Grandes Lagos, tem o potencial, não digo de resolver, mas de contribuir consideravelmente para a resolução destas duas grandes crises, quer alimentar, quer a energética, não apenas para o nosso continente, mas para o mundo. A grande barragem do Inga, adormecida há bastantes anos, pode contribuir enormemente para a eletrificação do continente e, consequentemente, para a sua industrialização. Em termos de agricultura, o facto de ter terras aráveis, um índice de chuvas bastante regular e abundante, pode-se desenvolver agricultura naquelas regiões para alimentar o continente. E nada disso tem sido possível fazer-se ao longo de décadas devido a este conflito que não tem sentido e que finalmente e felizmente parece que terá o seu fim hoje aqui em Washington, D.C. Nós procuramos fazer a nossa parte, e quando digo nós, estou-me a referir a Angola, ao Quênia e outros países também africanos. Procuramos fazer o melhor para chegarmos a este momento. Infelizmente não foi possível, mas nós só temos que agradecer ao Presidente Trump por ter dado continuidade ao trabalho que nós realizamos e ter conseguido alcançar esse desfecho do qual todos nós sairemos a ganhar. Portanto, mais uma vez, o Presidente Trump fez a parte que lhe compete e nós esperamos e acreditamos que é o que vai acontecer, que as duas partes, ou seja, as autoridades da República Democrática do Congo e da República do Ruanda também farão a sua parte para a implementação com êxito deste acordo. Uma coisa é assinar um acordo, outra coisa que é mais difícil, mas é possível, desde que haja vontade política, é implementar em tempo útil tudo aquilo que nós acordamos e assinamos. Parabéns a todos. Muito obrigado.
Your Excellency, the U.S. President, President Trump, dear guests, dear dignitaries present here, and press members. I would like to highlight the importance of this ceremony taking place in Washington, D.C., because this has come to put an end to a war that has been there for more than 3 decades, because it's not just exactly 3 decades, but it's more than 30 years. And this is a conflict that has been there between two neighboring countries, which have been fighting for many years with consequences on the peoples, countries, economies, and so forth. And these consequences also were felt in the Great Lakes region, which is a very rich region in Africa, rich in terms of water resources, arable lands and forests, and as well as mineral resources, which are important for the development of our region. So it's important that we've reached to this point where the agreement has been signed, a peace deal, which will benefit immensely the whole region and will unleash the opportunities for the development of our continent, and as well as to helping the whole world in terms of fighting against the food crisis and energy crisis which the whole world is going through now. We believe that the Great Lakes region will have to play a great role in providing resources to the international community. And of course, solving this conflict will also help solve other crises, not only in the continent as we know, but worldwide. For example, the Great Inga hydro project in Congo is important. It can help to electrify the continent and consequently help in terms of developing agriculture and providing agriculture, arable lands, and abundant resources that we have that can be used. We know that Africa possesses a lot of other resources such as rainfalls, which are important for agriculture. So nothing has nothing would just justify this war, but eventually the most important thing that it has come to war. We sought as Africans to do our part. When I say Africans, I mentioned countries such as Angola, Kenya, and other African countries, but unfortunately we couldn't make it. But we now want to thank President Donald Trump for having helped to reach this important milestone. We believe, once again, we have to thank him for what he has done, and what comes next now is to appeal to the two parties, that is the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of Rwanda, to implement successfully this agreement for the benefit of their countries, their people, and including our continent of Africa. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, President Trump, fellow heads of state, today's signing of the Washington Peace Accord for Eastern DRC is not merely a monumental diplomatic milestone. It is a decisive act to end a devastating conflict that has scarred the region for decades. Mr. President, what you have achieved is not only transformative, it is consequential and historic. This conflict has destroyed livelihoods, destabilized our region, and threatened the future of the entire Great Lakes African continent. Today's achievement culminates a relentless regional effort anchored by the foundational work of the East African Community and SADC, and today, this Washington process. The coordinated Nairobi, Rwanda, and Washington process has created the essential pathway that brings us to this pivotal moment. We would like to extend our gratitude to President Tshikedi and President Kagame for their leadership during this process. Reaching this point was made possible by the unparalleled consequential convening power of the United States and President Trump's resolute and focused commitment to global peace. Your clarity, Mr. President, of purpose and ability to rally stakeholders together has brought us to this point. We therefore extend our profound gratitude to President Trump, whose bold leadership has been instrumental in delivering this breakthrough. Our presence here, Mr. President, as regional leaders, is a testament of our collective resolve. We will spare no effort to ensure this agreement is fully realized, mobilizing every resource and partner to secure peace and unlock the region's immense economic promise. The protracted conflict on our continent continues to hold back Africa. Our current 3% share of global trade is stark evidence of how far this war has held us back. A peaceful Eastern DRC can unlock one of Africa's greatest economic opportunities. Our vast resources, the young talent that we have, connected through our regional infrastructure and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, can ignite an unprecedented transformation. A peaceful and integrated Great Lakes region will accelerate innovation, predictable government reduces risk, harmonized regulation lowers costs, and open borders increase trade, attracting value-added industries to our continent. For too long, Africa has exported raw materials only to import refined products at great cost. Our regional economic integration framework, Mr. President, that you have spoken to here, will build value chains in minerals, manufacturing, and agri-processing, creating jobs and creating wealth. The Great Lakes region stands at the threshold of a new era. Peace will open doors, integration will guide us, and private sector dynamism will propel us forward. In conclusion, as we celebrate progress in the DRC, we must not look away from other crises. I want to ask you respectfully, Mr. President, that in your quest for global peace, to support efforts to resolve the humanitarian catastrophe in Sudan. I thank you.
Excellence, the chef d'État et de gouvernement ici présent.
Heads of state and government, dear delegations, it is with great joy that I speak today before you in order to express my joy. There is a time for everything. There's a time for destruction, and there's a time to build. There's a time for despair, and there's a time for hope. Today, we are experiencing a great day. We are looking forward to this agreement, which will give back hope to the peoples of Congo and of the sub-region. I would like to congratulate everybody involved who made this great day possible. We urge God to continue to guide us, to guide the steps of all people of goodwill who will become involved for its implementation. Committing oneself is something, but implementing is something else, which is why I call upon all of you, provide your contribution to actually implement this accord. As far as we are concerned, this agreement on regional economic integration, well, Burundi and the DRC already represent an economic community of the countries of the Great Lakes region. Burundi has a major role to play in order to indeed implement these existing cooperation agreements between the three states. We hope that together we'll be able to achieve a long-lasting peace and stability throughout the region. Thank you very much.